After years of Italian, you still cannot speak. And that's because you've been studying instead of training speech. You study grammar, fill in blanks, connect arrows, and then review the same grammar over again because in the meanwhile, you forgot. The reason you cannot speak is simple. You're doing everything except speaking. An Italian walks to you and says, "Mi scusi, sa dirmi dov'è la chiesa?" Could you answer right off the top of your head? No dictionary, no grammar book, no thinking. Well, the answer, and you know it, is most likely, no, you cannot. So, when you find yourself bent over in a grammar book doing written exercises, be aware. That won't help you speak. When you're filling blanks, you're training filling in blanks. You train speaking by doing speaking drills. Conversation breaks down when forms and patterns don't arrive quickly enough. The number one drill learners need to master to fix that problem is conjugating verbs, and I'll demonstrate how it's done right now. Read aloud from io to loro this way. Io mangio, tu mangi, lui mangia, lei mangia, noi mangiamo, voi mangiate, loro mangiano. Io prendo, tu prendi, lui prende, lei prende, noi prendiamo, voi prendete, loro prendono. Io dormo, tu dormi, lui dorme, lei dorme, noi dormiamo, voi dormite, loro dormono. Do this a few times. When you're ready, you close the book and you say the conjugated forms out loud from memory. After a few times, you say them backwards from memory. Loro mangiano, voi mangiate, noi mangiamo, lei mangia, lui mangia, tu mangi, io mangio. Loro prendono, voi prendete, noi prendiamo, lui prende, lei prende, tu prendi, io prendo. Loro dormono, voi dormite, noi dormiamo, lei dorme, lui dorme, tu dormi, io dormo. After a few times going back and forth, you go in random order. Tu dormi, lei dorme, noi dormiamo, loro dormono, io dormo, tu dormi, voi dormite, loro dormono. Io prendo, loro prendono, tu prendi, voi prendete, noi prendiamo, loro prendono, voi prendete, io prendo, tu prendi. Noi mangiamo, io mangio, tu mangi, loro mangiano, voi mangiate, loro mangiano, io mangio, tu mangi, voi mangiate, noi mangiamo. If you cannot do this in training, you surely cannot do this in conversation. If no one ever taught you this, well, now you know why speaking comfortably without hiccuping your sentences out syllable by syllable still feels difficult. Your goal when doing a conjugation drill is to get fluent. Most teachers tell you, get the grammar first, you'll work on fluency later. But that's just not how it works. But there's no later because without speech drills, grammar will always haunt you. You study it, practice silently, forget it, go back to it. It's a never-ending loop. When you learn the present tense of the verb essere in your first class, the one thing you do is drill the conjugation of this verb until you can say it inside and out. Notice I didn't say know it because it's not about knowing things, it's about using and saying things. After lesson 1, essere is the only thing you did in Italian. Nothing else, but you can conjugate it fluently, promptly. No effort, no hesitation, no thinking. Back to the conjugation drill, now you do all verbs, regular, irregular, in random order. Stopwatch. 1 minute. I'll demonstrate 20 seconds for you. Io prendo, voi ascoltate, noi deduciamo, loro conducono, io gioco, tu senti, lui ascolta, noi mangiamo, voi bevete, tu mangi, lui gioca, lei suona, noi leggiamo, voi scrivete, tu prendi, noi beviamo, tu ascolti, noi prendiamo, voi spedite, loro vedono, noi giochiamo, loro ascoltano, lei cerca. Promptness, however, isn't enough. Training also needs precision. Most learners conjugate verbs this way. Faccio, fai, fa, facciamo, fate, fanno. This doesn't work. Always include the pronouns when you conjugate verbs. Io faccio, tu fai, lui fa, lei fa, noi facciamo, voi fate, loro fanno. Italians often drop pronouns in conversation, but not all the time. As a learner, you need to build a syntactic sense for pronouns from early on. It's easier to drop them when you want to if you can use them than to add them back when necessary if you cannot use them. Learners always conjugate lui and lei together because that's what teachers tell them to do. Io andavo, tu andavi, lui, lei andava. No precision. This is the way you do it instead. Io andavo, tu andavi, lui andava, lei andava. You separate lui and lei in conversation, you separate them in training. You don't remember one form while drilling. Just move on. Do not look, do not read. You cannot lose the pace. The form will come back later as you continue drilling. This is one memorization technique called active recall. Drilling out loud is what builds speech reflex. That's your long-term goal. You're supposed to forget the grammar and not need to go back to it again. Speech reflex does that for you, nothing else. They tell you fluency comes later after all the grammar as though it came in one big lump, but that isn't how fluency works. Reaching the highest level of fluency in accordance with your individual potential requires technical training. That doesn't begin when grammar ends, it begins on day one. I'm Mr. Paoloni. As usual, be well and speak well.